The moment I started investing in myself, my clients were so much more open to
Yes.
investing in me. They were like immediate yes. Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to an amazing episode of the Client Spotlight series where I have my amazing client, Gabby Escalante, here with us today, who's going to share her story how she went from charging $100 per hour as a coach to now selling 7K packages. Gabby, thank you for being here. Introduce yourself to everybody so that they know who you are and what you do.
Of course, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I am Gabby Escalante, and I'm a business mentor for Latin American coaches who are looking to increase their profits and at the same time to create more space in their daily lives.
So good. Say it in Spanish so that all the Latin American coaches get it.
Of course, soy una coach de rentabilidad, súper feliz y emocionada de apoyar a más coaches en Latinoamérica, mentores, consultores también, que están buscando aumentar su rentabilidad y a la vez crear muchísimo más espacio para sus familias, para sus propias vidas y realmente disfrutar hacer negocios.
Disfrutar hacer negocios. Ah! Okay, so it's such a dream come true to have a fellow Latina being here because, of course, I'm a Latina and I love helping and supporting just like you. You love supporting Latin American coaches. Well, listen, I'm available for Latin Americans. I'm available for all of their religions, all of their races, all of the things, but it's so special to have a Latina here. And so I want to take everyone back to before you started the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. We're going to share with all of you the three things that Gabby did to create this quantum leap in just 3 months. I mean, even less because you started selling 7K packages way before we ended the program. So tell us, what were you doing inside of your business and what inspired you to join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind specifically?
Right. So one of the things I was doing, about my business and with my business is that I was looking at everybody else's price.
Mm.
Even thought my clients were like, oh my goodness, I absolutely love you and you're amazing. And I really kind of like gather all this experience and stuff. I was just kind of like being like, all right, yeah, but how much would a business coach charge in Latin America? And so I kind of was going with those prices that were the average or doing what most people were doing.
Right.
When I started the mastermind, I started learning all these things. And one of the things that was really powerful for me was to like start celebrating the results that I had. So I'm someone who's very ambitious and who always wants the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes, being there felt as if what I had was never enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter where I came from and where I was today. It only mattered to me at all times, that next big goal. And
Mm-hmm.
so this sounds counterintuitive, but it's really not. The fact that I started loving the clients that I did have and the program that I had at that time and the results I was having in my business allowed me to then start looking and creating from an empowering place. As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to, feeling like, oh, this is not enough, so I don't want to do anything and feel like tired all the time and then not wanna like have or not have the energy to like figure out what was next.
Right.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. I mean, you jumped into now we're in the mastermind, which is awesome. So if we just slow down for a minute, because I really want to take people back to where you went, like way before you joined, like what inspired you to join, and you just kind of gave away secret number one, which is totally great because now all of you know what secret one was. You start loving your results, which is awesome. But I just want to pause just for a second and just can you remember the time that we had that exchange on Instagram when you were like, I just don't know if I can go, if I can pay in full. Like you were, this was a big investment for you. So I just want to talk really before we move on to all of the secrets and the things that you did. Can we just take people back to that moment when you were considering joining? What inspired you to actually join? Because everyone who's watching this video, they will relate to that moment because that's where they're at right now. And so, how were you feeling about this huge $10,000 investment when you were making $100? You were charging $100. You were charging $100 per hour. Take us a little bit to that moment, that consideration, and what had you decide, okay, Juliana, I'm going to go into your mastermind out of all the other masterminds available in the world.
Of course. First of all, I am just so excited to share all the secrets
I
that I have.
know, I know. We are going to share all of
But
them.
anyways, okay, so let's go back to that moment. There were so many thoughts in my head. And so here's the thing. I knew that I wanted to create this like really powerful business that could give so much to my clients. And every time that I saw Juliana and the way she was like relating to her clients and the way you were like, doing your lives and doing like your challenges and such, I was like, oh my goodness, like I can tell she's really like enjoying doing business. And I wanted to learn what was behind that. So I
Mhm.
can, bring that to myself and I can also take some of that to my clients
Right.
because I really do believe that we should all be able to enjoy. And so when we had that exchange, I was already thinking about like, oh my goodness, maybe this is for me, but maybe not. And my consideration was price because I kept on thinking that I wasn't someone who was capable or who was within her reach to invest that amount.
Right.
And so, we started having that conversation. And I remember, I think you asked me something like, what would you tell your client? And I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. Like I knew right away. I mean, we're all coaches.
Yep.
So the thing is, there were doubts because I wasn't sure that it was something that I did now.
Mm.
And I might jump a little bit forward here.
That's okay. You do you.
When I invested, the moment that I paid, and I paid in full, and I'm going to be totally honest, that was every single cent that I had in my savings account. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the moment I invested, even before I learned absolutely like nothing, like even before I started looking at the videos, or even before, we started the coaching, which, oh my God, brought so much to me. But even before that, just like the moment where I like typed in my card and I paid, I immediately changed the perspective that I had about myself.
Mm. So
And I went
good.
from being someone, and this is like a real story, you guys. I went from being someone who the most she invested in an online program to learn, how to sell her services and such was less than $300. Okay. So this is a major jump.
Huge. You went from investing the most $300 to then paying me $10,000.
Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is that the moment that I paid, I immediately started thinking as someone who believed so much in herself,
Mm-hmm.
in her clients, in her business, that was willing to like completely go for it,
Mm.
absolutely go all in. And also the fact that I stopped thinking about me as someone who like didn't invest or didn't invest much to someone who invested and paid in full because she was 100% sure that this was the way to go. So just changing that perspective about who I was and who I am was honestly worth the $10,000 and more. Just paying was worth the money. This is, yeah, like, and this is, how my clients feel and how everyone's clients get to feel just like by paying. It's already like important.
It's already on up level. Oh, so good. I just remember that so much, and you were so courageous and you went for it, and like your journey has just been so beautiful. You're unfolding. I mean, you had a breakup in the middle of the whole thing. You've gone through some shit. And the beauty of how you have now come on the other side selling I mean, throughout the whole thing, you were expanding yourself, selling 7K packages, doing your launch. Your clients are paying you more than they ever have. I mean, your how much is your group program now?
It's 4K and then 7K for the VIP.
Right. And so 4K for a group program when you were charging $100 before. I mean, so for me, it's just so beautiful to see you embody that woman because you just made a decision. And I want to remind everybody, it's just a decision away. All Gabby did was, I'm worth the investment. And I just get to be that woman already for me and for my clients who believes fully that the result is done, believes fully that I'm in the right place, that I can trust myself, I can trust my coach. And that is what generated this cascade of amazing wins, because you were going all in for yourself. So I just love that. And let's just go straight into the three things, because we kind of touched on all of them, but let's just go a little deeper. So the first thing you did was to love your results.
Yes.
Okay.
Like absolutely love my results.
Tell us
Whatever
about
I'm
that.
having, it was worth celebrating. Whether it was like I was selling to one client or zero or 10, like I started celebrating. And the
Yeah.
whole thing is that whenever we're in a mindset of, oh, it didn't work out, or everything's falling apart, or I failed, then where are we going to get the energy to keep on going? I mean, we're just going to go hide.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to do it. And this is why, it's so important to be surrounded by a group of people who are also celebrating all the time. And
Yes.
this is something that you encourage a lot.
Yeah.
And I see it. It's so crystal clear to me why it's important to celebrate. And it feels good. Like, not only creates amazing results, but it feels so much better
Yeah.
than the alternative.
100%. It's one of the cultural components of my masterminds. Like, because when we're in the energy of success, of celebration, then more celebration comes. When we're in an energetic match for winning, then more winning comes. It's like we just become like a never-ending vortex of winning, of upward spiral, and it just makes it everything so much better, feel delicious, but also it's just like strategically designed to attract more of that. So, and I learned this lesson the hard way, because I also had went through a breakup earlier in this year, and and I had to love my results too, because I was unavailable for doing a launch because I was so heartbroken. And it started with me learning to love my results that I had at the time. The number of people, I had 16 people signed up even before the launch started, and I had to learn to love them, because I thought that I was in a deficit. Most people would have thought, that's amazing. What a great result. For me, it was terrible, because I thought that I should have more. And so I love that I got to pass on this lesson to you, because it has become one of the things that for you were a cornerstone. So I'm just so happy. It's so good. Which leads me to the second secret, which was
So, secret number two, um, oh my goodness.
getting coached.
So many. Yes, thank you so much. I just
That's
have so
fine.
many things to say.
That's what you told
Okay,
me,
so
so I'm just
thanks
gonna
so
repeat
much.
it back to you. Getting coached, which is
So,
beautiful, because it's literally what just happened, right? Like, I coached you, and then you
yeah,
were able to have a breakthrough that supported you to show up differently. So tell us, how was it for you? Why did you say that getting coached was one of the huge breakthroughs that you had?
absolutely. And I want to go back to something you said because it's so powerful and I can just connect it. So you were talking about how, like, changing the price, it's just a decision away. And here's the thing, it is just a decision. But when your body is used to playing small,
Mm.
when your body and your mind and your nervous system and all of you are so used to competing with the rest of coaches, you're gonna need some support to be to get behind your numbers. So it wasn't from one day to another that I was able to tell someone like, yeah, it's $100 an hour, to go to like, yeah, that's 7,000, and say it with confidence.
Right.
And so there is support required in order to be able to do this and really get behind your price. Because at the end of the day, if I didn't really believe that I was going to sell it, then I would have never sold any packages at
Right.
that point.
Right.
So to me, getting coach was about like expanding my mindset from what was possible, but also by being coach, I was increasing my value as a coach
Mm.
because I was having my own breakthroughs. And I am now like playing like in the eyes, like I am right there and then with you. And so it's easier for me to understand what my coaches are feeling.
Your
And
clients.
when I get to, right, like, and when I get to
Yeah.
understand them, then I get to support them even more.
Right.
So it's this like amazingness of like expansion.
Totally. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. I think getting coached is just one of the most beautiful things we can do for ourselves, not just for us, but for our clients. And so it makes sense that you were able to now hold a better space, a deeper, more profound, more gentle, more loving space for your clients, because that's the space that you put yourself in. So it makes perfect sense. Okay, and
And
let's talk about, oh, sorry, were you gonna say something
I
before we
just
do number three?
so also I feel as if coaches in general, we're always giving so much more, like so
Yeah.
much of us and creating this space for other
Right.
people. And we also need to be contained. And it's such a loving and powerful and amazing experience to say yes, especially if you're saying yes to the premium level,
Uh-huh.
where you know you just get all these like your mindset, like your thoughts, your actions, your results are just so much more different after you're going through this experience of being coached.
110%. Okay. And then the last one, which we briefly touched on, was what was the last one?
The last one was investing at a high level.
Investing at a high level. We already talked about what that was. And I have one more question for you. So if you could just briefly talk about why investing at a high level was such a big transformation. You already talked about it, but I want to like ground it again.
Yeah. So investing at a high level because I am embodying someone who is so willing and so ready and believes so much in herself and her business and her clients
Right.
is going to attract people that are willing to do the same thing.
100%.
So the moment I started investing in myself, my clients were so much more open to
Yes.
investing in me. They were like immediate yes. And like, all right, let's go. And like, what's the price? Sure. Like they didn't even like I don't think they even like cared. It was
Mhm.
really like, okay, cool. Like my client was like, I know I need to work with you. That's what I
Mhm. It's so beautiful. I'm just so proud of you. And it is such a, of course, like you know me. I'm like, of course that this is happening. Like to me, when I see, for all of you who are watching, just know that I see you so big, and it's just that you haven't been around people who see you this big. So for you, it feels impossible to think for yourself to go and do that. But when you're in the energy of a container and a coach that's able to hold belief with so much ease and like inevitability, it makes your possibility inevitable just because you're in the presence of a really strong belief. And so that leads me to the question that I had for you, which is what does it feel like to be inside of Magnetize and Monetize in the container, like with the ladies, with the men, the ladies and gentlemen, and of course getting coached by me? Like, what does that feel like? What is the whole experience?
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's really hard to put into words. It is blissful. It is empowering. It is a party right there and then, all the time.
True.
And I'm all in for that. Um, it feels expansive. I feel like I'm always like going like really like expanding, but also being grateful for what
Mhm.
is right there and
Yeah.
then. And that space is beautiful. And also being surrounded by people that are in the same journey has so much value. So much value. And of course being coached by you, like I mean, it's just amazing. It's just another level.
Oh
I
my
can't.
I mean, if you could try to put it into words, but you know what I mean. So I love that, and I love that was. It really is. You have to be there to experience it. And what I want to ask, the last thing that I want to ask is, what would you say to somebody who's watching this video and who's like, that sounds great, but really, like, I don't know, like, I'm on the fence. I want to, my heart says yes, but I'm a little bit scared. Maybe I've been other masterminds before, it didn't work out the same way. I felt like a number, whatever it is for them. What would you say to them if they're feeling the fence?
Perfect. Well, what you were talking about, it was put into words. So being coached by you feels like being seen and loved.
Oh,
That's what it feels like. Now, let's go to the next question.
ah, I love that.
All right. So what I'm gonna say is that if you are curious about this and you've been watching these videos, you're already like so far into it, like this program's got to be for you.
Yeah.
I mean, really what you're getting yourself into is a place where people will believe in you
Mm-hmm.
at all times, and where you will be supported, and where you're going to be like loved and cared for and coached. And there is no way that you're not going to, after the 3 months, you're not going to be a more powerful coach and more confident and making more money. But honestly, like the making more money part, which you will, it's just it's just there. But like to me, like the deepest thing is just like you're gonna feel better, like you're gonna be more confident, and you're going to be such an amazing coach for your clients, and you're going to be creating so much more for them as well in your life, and absolutely loving everything. It's like it doesn't have like there's no way to put a price on that.
It just is like a perpetual value. Like you get all the marketing knowledge and all the things we do and the coaching area, but what you walk away with is a perpetual ability to become an amazing space holder for the rest of your life, for all your people, so that you can give them amazing coaching without feeling like you're, am I doing the right thing, am I doing the right thing? This is a byproduct of being coached inside of the Magnetize and Monetize. So good. Oh my God, you froze. Wait, did you freeze? You froze, but you know what? It's all good because we are at the end of the video, so it's all good. So thank you so much, Gabby, for being here. I love you so much. You're continuing onto the Momentum Mastermind, which is so fun. I can't wait to support you there. Thank you so much. I love you. And to everyone watching, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.